that.
Well, thank you all for coming. I don't care about numbers. I just care about people, and all of you mean so much to me. So I'm just glad you're here. And here's a picture of the book. So if you order it, this is what it looks like. And you can get it on Amazon. Just type in BJ's Promise, How My Dying Dog Found My True Love, or my name, Jeannine Escallier Kato. But if you just put in BJ's Promise, Millie, hi Millie. Millie is a dear friend I taught with for many years. So let me put her name down for the drawing. I got to tell her to get her sound. Where's my, shoot, there it is. Turn on your mic, Millie.
I'll ask her. And the link is in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Ask to unmute.
Oh, good. She put the link in the chat. Anyway, so there. She knows how to do it. She does computers every day. Okay, so thank you for coming for this. And I want to introduce Mila. She is a book coach, author, publisher. If I hadn't found her, this book wouldn't have been done. So Mila, hi. You want to say a couple things?
Well, it's been a great joy working with Jeannine because she gets the work done and she does all the little assignments I give, you know, like let's get it done. And we started with her, she had it written, and then I did some developmental editing. I'm not a real editor. And then we went back and forth, and then we hired my book designer to do the inside, which turned out very nice.
And it's easy to read. It's really easy print.
We made it easy to read. And then we did the cover. We got the cover made, and then, you know, it's a whole process, but Jeannine was delightful to work with.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, every minute.
Thank you. And Mila and I are the exact same age. We grew up in the exact same places, and our lives just kind of paralleled. We grew up in the same area. We've lived in the same areas. We were both DJs on KVMR radio at the same time.
We did theater in the same theater. We were both in shows.
And we're both teachers. So it's like, it was just a match made in heaven. I swear it was a match made in heaven. And when she was reading my book, she goes, oh my God, I was a DJ on KVMR. What was it? I acted at Nevada Theater, and we're the same age. So our lives literally paralleled. I'm sure we bumped into each other. I'm sure we went to the same events and all that. So,
and we're both admitted Pollyannas.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So I thought I'd just read like an excerpt or two, and then we can go into some questions and answers and talk about anything you want to talk about with the publishing process, self-publishing process, if anybody's interested in that. I want to start off, of course, with the very first pages, because you have to kind of know the feeling, the tenor of the book, and how I kind of start off with my dog. But I wanted to tell you guys something before I forget, because my people in my writing group, they'll kind of understand this. Once you guys get the book in print and you read it in print, not just your manuscript, you realize, oh my God, there's a lot more to this than I even imagined when I was writing it. And I've got to tell you guys what I discovered. After I read the book, I realized there's so many levels to this that I didn't even realize. And the biggest level I came away with is, without this dog, I wouldn't have realized or actualized all the passions in my life. Because when I had her, she gave me the confidence to do the radio shows, to act in community theater, to write grants for my school projects. I actually wrote a grant to hire a counselor for my kids. There were so many things that she gave me the confidence to do that I'm doing today. So there were so many levels to her, and that's why I had to write her story. And I didn't even realize it when I was writing the book. So you're going to find when you get the book, hey, I got to put down Eldon. Hi, Eldon.
Hi.
He's a poet. He's a great poet. So I'm putting him down for the drawing.
Oh, thank you.
He gives our daily on Facebook. He gives us our daily poems, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. So here we go. This is the beginning of the book. BJ, tied up behind a black iron stairwell on the side of a white stucco building, yelps in fear. I don't know how long she's been there. Days, weeks, months. I'm not sure she's still alive. I don't remember losing her or how she escaped my care. In one scene, we run mountain switchbacks, sharing our passion for the great outdoors. In the next scene, I search desperately for her in a dark forest, bereft and alone. Before I can reach her to untie her emaciated body, I bolt upright from a deep sleep, the tears streaming down my face. The tears streaming down my face. I don't have my right reading glasses on. That dream first appeared at the onset of my golden retriever's failing kidneys. When her voracious appetite disappeared, I knew it was the beginning of the end of our love story. 24 years have passed since her death. If I didn't know that one dog destined to be mine, I wouldn't have the life I have today. BJ's story deserves to be told. Okay, this is where the story starts. That was a dream, of course, and this is where the story really starts. Ricky, sassy and sultry, arrived late to the crowded Santa Monica Folk Club that breezy summer night in June 1983. In her usual style, she displayed the cleavage of her ample bosom, wearing clothes that accentuated her curvy body. I admired Ricky's shoulder-length red curly hair and quick wit. By contrast, my runner's body, flat-chested with a long waist and strong limbs, represented the antithesis of a sexy bombshell. My chestnut brown, wavy hair fell to the middle of my back. I had that sparkly girl next door enthusiasm. Ricky kept me calm and centered. I yelled in her ear above the din of the bluegrass band. I can't believe I grabbed the last 2 seats at the bar. Ricky, see that guy sitting next to me? Isn't he adorable? I don't think he's interested because I couldn't engage him in a conversation. Ricky winked at me as if to say, I've got this. Ricky leaned across me, igniting a conversation with the tall, bearded man sporting thick, shaggy auburn hair. His dark blue eyes, shielded by arched, sun-bleached eyebrows, ignited a desire I hadn't felt in years. I imagine if he were to shave his beard, his straight nose, high cheekbones, and full lips would be the face of Old Spice cologne. I moved down 1 seat so Ricky could talk to him. I sensed he liked her savvy, New Jersey confidence better than my apologetic California cool. When this perfectly proportioned man rose to use the bathroom, Ricky whispered, Jeannine, he's shy. Try talking to him again. Ricky guided me back to the seat next to Ben. When he returned, he looked directly into my eyes and smiled. I felt the blood rush from my head to my toes. I'm Ben. Can we start over? I shook his extended hand, yearning to prolong the warm strength of his grip. I hope he felt the connection as well. So that's how I start with my first husband. And the book goes into our marriage, how it just, we weren't matched. And then I got BJ as a puppy so that to try to this marriage that wasn't going to work, but we tried. So the puppy would infuse magic into our marriage, which she did for a while. And then BJ's story starts to unfold and her magic in my life. So I'll just stop at that one excerpt and see if there are any questions about anything about the book process. And Lupe, hi Lupe. I've known Lupe since kindergarten.
Whoa.
Lupe is there. I've known her since kindergarten. And Lupe, put on your, I can't hear you, Lupe. So she doesn't have her thing on.
Yeah,
So,
I'm here to unmute.
yeah, got to get her to unmute. See if anybody, okay. So this is kind of a question answer about the process of self-publishing that Mila might be able to answer. Any questions?
What is the developmental editor?
Well, that means I read it and I go, oh, what happened to Ben? He disappeared here. You need to explain that. And I also fix all the grammar I can find, but then we really need another editor later. But I fix most everything, but then mainly I go, oh, there's a hole here. Oh, can you explain this? Oh, this is too long. That kind of thing.
Thank you.
Also, she was the one, well, Phil, you told me about Grammarly. You're the one who said, hey, you got to try Grammarly. And
Oh,
then it's a what do you call it? It's a app that you can put on your computer, and it just goes through automatically your work. And then you were the one that told me, Mila, as well as Phil, Jeannine, you got to put Grammarly on, and that really helped.
And
And
only
then,
the free, don't pay for it.
yeah, yeah. And then after I did Grammarly, it made it so much easier for Mila to go through it, because she said, oh yeah, I can tell you've used it Grammarly. It made it so much easier for me. So I swear by Grammarly. I really, because it catches all those little things our eyes don't see.
And what we're going to do this week is do her ebook next, because we do the paperback first so that it gets on people's shelves, and plus that's where you make your initial money to pay for the kind of developmental editing and stuff. But then we're going to take the ebook and we're going to make an audiobook. And my book that I'm going to give away today, the Cinderella Monologues, it didn't really come to life for me, even though I read each story 5 times, until I heard the audiobook. And then it really, like Jeannine reading her excerpt just now.
My poor mom, who's 93, and she's trying to get her care workers to read the book to her, my brother to read the book to her. And she said, all these different voices, and some people are terrible readers. She said, I'm not getting the flow of your book. I said, Mom, I told you I would read it to you every day. And she kept saying, no, Steve can read it to me. Steve can read. But my brother's so busy all the time. He doesn't have the time to sit down and read like maybe 5 chapters to her. So I said, Mom, after my Zoom today, I'm going to sit down and read it to you. Oh, goody, 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 goody. I said, Mom, you need me to be reading it to you. So she just goes, and I bless my worker's heart. But she said, you could tell they weren't good in school and they just don't read well. So yeah. But I think having that for older people that can't see anymore would be wonderful.
Well, and the
Just,
great thing about the Audible book, it's connected to your KDP account, same password. And so what will happen is it will go straight in. And I didn't realize this before, because I've done it for 3 years off and on, but they give us, I have a guy fixing my roof. They give us codes, Jeannine, so you can give your audiobook to other people and then ask them to leave a review, and you get to hand out like 30 free books.
wow.
Yeah, it's cool.
And it's funny, I had a previous publisher who, when I left her because she wasn't a nice person, she said, well, good luck finding someone to get you back on Amazon. I mean, Mila is a pro. She's such a pro that she got my author profile on, where my previous publisher didn't even have my author profile on.
Well, how did you find Mila? How did you meet? I don't recall you telling us that.
Oh, it was through Lisa.
Oh, okay.
Lisa Schliff said, oh, Jeannine, you know, somebody who might help you get your book out there. And it was through Lisa.
Okay.
And she gave me the contact.
We're in the same writing group. And then we took her book that was done by the other person, and the other person
That's my children's book.
Yeah, and then the other person just did that much. So I had my book designer make it into 8.5 by 11, and then we reissued it under her name, so she has control of her book.
Wow.
And she made it more beautiful. I mean, she made it bigger.
Yeah, it is.
8.5 by 11 instead of a little, you know, half size.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of like when one door closes, 3 more open. So I was really pleased to find Mila, and she gave it back to me in my control, and she doesn't take any cuts of my books at all. You know, I pay her for the services of helping me do this, but she doesn't take a cut of my books because she's my coach, but she's not my publisher. I'm sole owner of my books. So, and I'm happy to pay her to help me do this because I couldn't have figured any of it out at all. It's so involved. I mean, it's not like impossible, but you need somebody to guide you through it.
Can Mila help you clean up messes too?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you know what I want to do? I want to pull my book, fix it, and then put it back.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that and make a PDF, and you can load it as many times as you want. Like you can even read your book and go, oh, there's one mistake. You make a new PDF and put it right up.
I'll be right back.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I'm helping people get their books back. And what I'm doing is instead of publishing for people, I'm giving people all the control. Like everything I even say to her was a suggestion. But I want everyone to have control of their books because she lost control of her book with men. I've helped 6 people get their books back from negligent publishers recently.
Wow. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah,
You
so
can do that though, for sure. Redo your book and then put it up, but leave your other book up for now so it keeps selling. If you know, and then put your other one up as soon as you like do what you want to do to it.
yeah,
They had-
Sarah had, oh, go ahead. Was there a question?
Not for me.
Oh, Sarah has a great book, Jamba Mama.
Jumbo
Ooh,
Mama.
John, say it again.
Jumbo Mama. Hello, Mama.
Jumbo Mama, of her time in Africa as a teenager. And I told her, I said, this is so good, you have to add more to it. I think you need to make it longer. Because it's so good. It's just so good. And I think that's a good idea to redo it and make it more. Because I wanted to read more after I read it. It's like, oh, I want more. So yeah, Mila is great. She could help you do that.
Thank you.
Definitely. Any
You do-
more questions?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah.
Do you do photo books? Photography book
I have
or just writing?
my designer. I can do any book. It's all the same process. But my designer, she loves doing photo books. In fact, she's a pro. She's been doing AI 30 years before any of us ever heard it.
Huh.
And she won't do AI, but she can take. She told me, Mila, if you have anyone who want to do photo or art books, I almost want to do those more. And so she and she doesn't even charge that much to do it. Her name's Margaret Campbell. Can you give her Margaret's
Yeah.
link? I think you go straight through her. I help you load the book, advertise it, do all that, but she'd be your designer.
Well, I am a designer.
I mean, but as far as the book.
Yeah, I've done books.
Oh,
self-published.
okay. Yeah.
So I was an art director for a long time and designer in an ad agency.
Uh-huh.
So I've done 3 books so far. But
Oh, good.
I need help with his distribution.
Oh yeah, I can help you with some of that. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, she as far as PR, I mean, I'm just starting with my PR process. I'm just starting. I'm setting up book signings and I'm going to go to a local TV station and see if I can promote it there. Yeah, she's just given me so many ideas.
I speak
Great.
1 to 2 times a week all over the world, and I help. My grandmother taught public speaking to Eleanor Roosevelt and thousands of women. But so I can help you get hooked into podcasts and summits that would help you speak about your book too. I can do that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you-
Okay. Yeah,
John?
John.
Can you speak just a little bit about your writing process, what you found successful as far as developing a story arc and what your process was to get from a blank piece of paper to completed book?
Oh, that's such a good question. Nobody asks me that. I love that question. Well, I've always loved writing as a child, adolescent, college. I mean, it just came natural to me to put sentences together. And I've always been a very, very, very emotional. My family is when God made brains, he put the needle over onto the right side of the brain all the way. So I'm a very emotive person, which in a writer is, ripe. When you're an emotional person, writing is kind of a natural thing. So I always got to, wrote about my life and my emotions, my feelings, that kind of thing. But I think it started, and Laura, my Dr. Paston, who's on here, will know that, I wrote a lot in college and I wanted to be a writer. I always said I want to be a writer. Well, when VJ started working in my classroom when I was in my 30s, I wrote a piece about her and I sent it out to journals, educational journals, how she affected my students. And I put a lot of emotion in it and they took it and they published it in the state of California. And it gave me like, wow, I guess I can do this. So then I just started writing more and more stories. Thank you, Glenn. Oh, we can do a drawing.
Oh, no.
So when you get feedback from people who say you have talent, then it keeps you going to write more and more and more. And I'm trying to think if I submitted something before that story got published. But anyway, since then, I have been writing short stories that have won prizes. I just love the short story genre. I write fiction and nonfiction. And so I just kind of started writing stories and sending them off just to various things online, various contests online, and when I would get, attention for that. And then the children's book came along when I started learning Spanish, and I decided I wanted to teach bilingual populations. Well, when I got involved in the Spanish Mexican culture and the language and this, and I started traveling to Mexico, and I was so enamored with Diego Rivera and Frida Kahlo's art, I wanted to put together something for the children with their art. So I wrote a children's book, and I found a publisher who loved my manuscript, so published that book. And I just kept writing and writing. And then I had this story about my dog, and I said, why write an article about her? Why not write her story? And then, I guess what I'm trying to say is you build on little things, and you just keep going on that until you start to build on bigger things. And the bigger things just start blooming out to other things. So I guess I've always had a passion for writing. And so I just parlayed it into my passions. That's kind of how I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we got a drawing to do.
Yay!
Hey, Jeannine, I have a
Oh,
question.
Glenn, can you do the drawing so it doesn't look like I'm fixing it?
You're not
Jeannine,
gonna
I have
fix
a
it.
question.
And Millie has a question.
Oh, Millie?
Yeah, any plans to translate it into Spanish so you can reach a greater audience?
Oh, can we do that?
Yes.
Oh.
In fact, I did a whole book for somebody who only spoke Spanish, and he wasn't a very good writer, and he spoke English. Well, I shouldn't say that too loud. And I put it through AI, and I put his novel through AI and made a novel for him of really good writing. And then we're going to take that and put it in Spanish and AI.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that is something yeah, thanks, Millie.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea.
Is there a platform you're using to develop the Word document, for example, into a book format? I know Amazon has one, and there's a couple others out there.
Yeah, if you go onto Amazon, are you in KDP, John?
KDP, no.
No, okay, well, join KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, which is you
Okay.
publish all the formats in it. And you know what's great about joining, even if you're not going to publish a book for a year or two, they have templates, and you can dump your book. I wrote this book straight into a template. It's a short book. I wrote it straight into a template, and then I just published it automatically. So you can do that, and then they have tutorials there. So I would join early. Everybody join KDP, and it's wonderful. You have to give them a debit card because they want to know where to put your money later, but that will really help you get a template right there.
That's through Amazon.
Yes.
That's through Amazon.
And
Yeah.
KDP is the same password as your Prime account.
Thank you.
Katie,
I have a question.
Yeah. Who's that?
Brenda.
Brenda.
Oh.
Millie, I've published books through Blurb because as a niece, I am a photographer and I wanted lots of color photographs in those books.
Oh.
So they also have templates where you can just dump your book right in. You can dump your photos in. Does KDP work like that? I'm not familiar with KDP. I've not done one for Amazon yet.
Yeah, they don't have templates like for pictures and stuff, and doing pictures is a lot harder because you want to make sure they're good, and that's where Margaret comes in and puts them in Photoshop. But the thing is, I've never heard of Blurb, so I want to look into that. That's really a nice clue.
Okay. A friend of my son's directed me to them because I have so many color photographs that I wanted to include. The book I'm working on now, no, it'll be like Jeannine's doing.
And that might help the other woman who is thinking about photo books.
Denise, do you know anything about that?
Do Blurb? Yes, I do. In fact, you can, you can compose it in InDesign,
Mhm.
and
yeah.
then
Mhm.
See, that's what Margaret uses, InDesign, and that's why she's so great. InDesign is hard to learn, but if you know it, Denise, you're all the way there.
Yeah.
And I know Photoshop and Lightroom. So
Yeah.
do you use Lightroom, Brenda?
No, I just use InDesign and the
Good.
templates through lots of Photoshop and InDesign, and I've for years done my own photo adjustment, whatever you call that. Work on them,
Editing.
work on them. And what I liked about Blurb is they, if the photo's not of good quality, they tell you at the time. If you're trying to slide a photo into a certain shape, they'll say yes or no, or go back and work on it again or whatever. So I've found them to be very easy to use.
Oh,
Do you
I've
know
never
what
heard
the
of 'em.
dots per inch is? That they
Pardon me? Yes, yes.
the DPI that they
Yeah.
require? Do you know what
Yeah.
it is?
Not off the top of my head. No, I don't.
Usually 300, right, for most things.
Yeah, yeah, that's what they say, but the printers never really go that high. It's like 240 or something.
Oh, we do, no, when we do.
300, I know, when I used to do
300.
printing, 300.
Yeah. okay, yeah.
Denise, you're the winner.
What?
You're the winner of my book.
Yay.
You get a free book.
Thank you.
So I'll write that. So I'll keep that. Denise gets a free book, and then we have a drawing for because I know Dr. Passon has to go. So we have a drawing for Mila. What book do we have a drawing for you?
Oh, you will love this book, Every Woman's Story of
Oh.
Winning the Right to Vote. My grandmother, who was on the front lines,
Oh my gosh.
from cowgirl to Congress. It's every woman's story. She was there with Alice Paul. Stories you don't know. Eleanor Roosevelt. She took me along when she spoke with Gloria Steinem, Marlo Thomas.
Yeah.
And
So
I'll need your address though. Whoever wins, I need the address. I can send it to them.
okay, the next winner is
Say, Sarah.
and I didn't look. I just grabbed. I swirled and grabbed. Is Lupe.
Yay, Lupe.
Lupe.
She's still off.
She's muted.
No, her microphone's off, but I think her sound is on. Lupe wins Cowgirl to Congress. Let me write that on the back.
Jeannine,
Yeah.
can you sign the book for me?
Oh, sure. And Cowgirl to Congress. Make sure she gets that one. Okay. And then we have one more. Didn't you have one you wanted?
Oh, we can do this is a great book, Cinderella stories, monologues, stories of different women and how they came through adversity to become successful, including mine. I grew up in utter poverty, but I had a superpower of giving. And so now I have a huge citrus ranch and all kinds of things.
So Lupe, I'll have to get your address on Facebook. I'll get Lupe's address and give it to
Okay.
you.
Am I unmuted now?
Yeah.
Yes.
But now we
Sorry, I don't know how to work these things.
You can put your
Thank
address in
you.
chat. Can you put your address in chat or down there if you want?
But
I'll send, is that okay? I send it to Jeannine?
yeah.
Okay.
I'll get it, Lupe. Lupe,
right.
can you believe
Yeah.
we've known each other since kindergarten?
Yeah.
I love it. I love that you're on there. Okay, so now for I want to get into her Cinderella book. Any of you ladies can get into her book.
Oh
You
yeah,
wanna-
we're doing the 3rd edition right now, and Jeannine's going to be in it.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get like 3,000 words, and it gives you a lot of clout, and it advertises all your books, and then you get some books for free, and it's just a really good thing to do. And I don't charge very much to be in it. I just charge what it costs to put your story in the book.
Okay, here's the next winner.
2nd edition here.
Sarah. Sarah.
Oh yay! And you know what? There's a story about a woman who saved buffaloes in Grass Valley. Most of the people are from around the United States and
Wow.
Canada, but this one story is the first one about her saving buffalo that were starving in a field in Alta Sierra.
All right.
Oh, Buffalo and Alta Sierra. Wow. Sort of fun thing.
And I'm feeling generous. I'm going to do one more for my book. I'm feeling generous. And I ordered a bulk of books of my books, and they're still not here, Mila. I ordered those like 2 weeks ago.
You know, that happened to my friend. She was doing a book lunch in town in Grass Valley, and she ordered her books. They didn't come for 3 weeks, and it was like 5 days after her launch. It was a
I
bummer
know.
for her.
I know, I'm really upset about that. And Ellen, you get one of my books free. And I can just give it to her. Yay, Ellen. So, my book. Wow, thank you, Jeannine. She's on the chat. So I'll put BJ's.
We'll say hi. Say hi to Jeannine.
Okay, great. So we got our people.
So
Okay, so I'm going to do another reading. So let's go on to, I kind of marked all these. I love this this is kind of one of my favorites. Oh, okay, so this is where we get BJ after our marriage has kind of stumbled, and I see the writing on the wall that this marriage isn't going to work. And I know you people have already read it, know that he just, when you marry somebody who doesn't like themselves, you can't change them. You just can't. I tried. It wasn't going to work. So he took out a lot of his frustration on me, and this dog just gave me so much back. I think I'm going to. Oh, okay. The puppy energy in our home swept out the looming darkness of doubt in our marriage. Our jobs took on new meaning. We had another being to raise. The aerobics routines I taught at the sports club to Michael Jackson's Thriller album were fueled by the creative juices inspired by this amazing dog. Ben and I had a purpose. Ben softened to my emotional ways, and I forgot about second-guessing the marriage. Even my cat Boogers found this curious canine a fascinating creature. She watched BJ from the safety of her high places around the house, hissing to let this precocious puppy know who was really in charge. Soon enough, they became true friends, often cuddled together in front of the fireplace. BJ gave all of us a refreshing lease on life. We brought her home in late November. Ben built BJ a doghouse as a warm refuge for her playtime in the snow. She so enjoyed being outside during the day, she never once entered that doghouse. Her rightful shelter was in the house with us, so BJ made the most out of her outdoor time, rolling, running, chewing, and fetching. I couldn't wait to get home each day to play with our rapidly growing girl. BJ romped over the snowdrifts like a gazelle over high grass. Ben and I rolled over and over in the deep snow with BJ down the steep hot driveway, entangled together. Wedged between us like a hot dog between two buns, our laughter rang through the hills. Uh-oh, Ben, someone had an accident. We weren't paying enough attention to her whimpers on an especially cold Saturday afternoon. We thought she was merely anxious to be outside. We both felt guilty for missing this urgent request, her independent attempt at potty training. It wasn't her fault. Ben pointed to the puddle in the rug and apologized. Good girl, BJ. We are so sorry we didn't realize you were trying to do the right thing. Then he scooped BJ into his arms and carried her outside. Ben patiently waited while BJ did her business. He didn't know I watched through the window when he gathered her into his lap and let her slather him in kisses. Her love worked wonders on both of us. So she softened him because he was really hard on me. And she softened him. And I was watching through the window how this puppy was starting to melt his hard edges. And so for a time it worked. Having this dog worked. Is somebody saying something?
I heard someone, but I can't understand them.
Loopy's box lit up, but I didn't understand what she said.
Yeah. Lupe, did you say something?
Now
Oh.
she's muted it.
Her
Oh.
mic is-
Did you say something, Mila?
Oh, sorry, I muted her because there was something in her room. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Okay. And then this one is another thing about the BJ's effect on the neighbors when we moved to Nevada City. we decided I couldn't stay in Park City. It was snow from June until May. I mean, to the following year, that it was just snow, 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 and I just couldn't deal with it. And Bob, my real husband's name was Bob, but I call him Ben in the story. He couldn't find. He was a. What do I want to say? I can't think of it. A forester. He was a forest ranger, and he couldn't find work in Park City because it was all tourist jobs and building. So the teachers I taught with in Park City said, why don't you try going to Northern California? And we know of this darling little area, Nevada City, Grass Valley, and maybe he can find some forest work there. So that's what we settled upon. When we first moved in a little valley neighborhood in Nevada City, it was so darling. I give a very definite description of that area. We had just settled in, and BJ wasted no time meeting the neighbors. One afternoon, as I sunbathed in the front yard, BJ trotted up to me with a tiny girl trailing behind her. Oh, hello, I said. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the tiny girl was not a girl at all, but a young woman. I could see that this young woman had grave health issues. Her skin glowed a translucent purple. She couldn't have weighed over 70 pounds. In a distorted voice that sounded like she had just inhaled helium, the frail girl said, I adore your dog. She walked up to me, then pushed my hand with her nose like she wanted me to follow. I think she wants us to meet. My name is Alicia. I live across the street. That's our girl, BJ. Everyone she greets is a friend. Nice to meet you, Alicia. My heart melted. I learned that this little elfin girl of 17 was waiting for a heart-lung transplant. Her prospects for survival were bleak if she didn't get a heart soon. I imagined that BJ smelled her illness and wanted to help. I held back my tears. Alicia felt extremely honored to have been chosen as a 7-Eleven National Cycling Association team mascot. All she could talk about was the bike racing and being a celebrity. I couldn't contain my excitement for her. Every year, the NCA hosted bicycle races through Nevada City to promote the upcoming Tour de France. Thanks to BJ, Alicia and her civic-minded family were our first contacts in Nevada City. Tragically, Alicia didn't make it to her 24th birthday. Her fragile body rejected the transplant, not bearing up under the complications. We had already moved away before we learned of Alicia's death. I reached out to the family, remembering how she was one of God's special ambassadors. BJ knew Alicia was an angel. BJ visited her frail friend whenever she could sneak across the street without getting caught. But she did. BJ just had this ability to pick people and bring them into our lives. And then we get jobs as we moved to Nevada City, Grass Valley. We picked the first jobs we could find, and they turned out to be horrible because I couldn't find a teaching job in the foothills. Just couldn't find a good teaching job. I had to go down the hill, and I found a private school for emotionally disturbed teenagers, private school in Citrus Heights. It was a nightmare, and it wasn't the kids. It was the administration, and you'll read that story. It's horrible. And Ben found construction work. So we would commute down to Sacramento every day from Nevada City and drive back up together. That was a horrible time. Let's see. Here's one that how she affected me in the classroom. So anyway, I finally found a job in Lincoln where I taught for 30 years. So after that debacle with my job in Citrus Heights, where they were embezzling money from the school, the administration, I found a job teaching in Lincoln. And this is how she helped me as a teacher. I had severely disturbed behavioral problem children, but it was in a public school setting, which helped immensely. Let's see. One such story defines BJ's positive effect on the most insecure of my educationally challenged students. John brought his puppy in one day to show the class. And he had known BJ. This little chubby boy already knew BJ, but then he decided to get a puppy of his own. John brought his puppy in one day to show the class. As he reached into the basket to present that little scraggly mutt, he announced, "I decided to name him BJ." He beamed with pride. 9 months earlier, John didn't have a friend. He was on the edge of a crisis intervention. Little did we know, BJ would become one of John's most effective mental health counselors. I was amazed at John's progress, but BJ was not. She instinctively knew a kindred spirit. When John enrolled in my class, he ducked in and out of the shadows of dark hallways, trying to hide his awkward, overweight body, until he met BJ. Already seeking professional help for John's depression at the beginning of the school year, it didn't occur to me to factor in BJ's effect on my students. However, when John saw BJ, he dove to the floor to be nose to nose with her. He giggled, then loudly exclaimed, "Look, everyone, her eyebrows go up and down in opposite directions." The rest of the children dropped onto the floor to see for themselves. Sure enough, BJ's eyebrows did teeter-totter, something I'd never noticed before. Her eyebrows went up and down in opposite directions. It was so funny. John didn't seek shadows quite so often after that day. My class surrounded John with friendship because of their mutual admiration for my golden girl. BJ made John laugh until he left us for high school, much thinner and more confident. I'd like to take credit for John's positive transformation, but BJ's love gave him reasons to believe in himself.
Nice.
So, I mean, there's so many examples of that throughout the book, how everyone she met fell in love with her. They just did. And then I get into how the marriage fell apart, my depression, how she got me through my depression, and then meeting a fellow teacher who kind of helped me out of that depression, and then getting him through his bipolar depression and how she helped him, and then finding Dr. Laura, she had to leave, finding Dr. Laura, who saved BJ's life a couple times, and the book's dedicated to her. I wish she had shown her face, but oh well. And then how going through BJ's illness, and then that was horrible. And then how we found Glenn in the kite fields here close to Lincoln, and how then Glenn got me through her loss. So I have a lot of pages marked, but time is kind of running out. So I want to leave it open for more questions and things like that. So Mila, do you have anything else to add or?
No, but if anyone wants to work with me, it's my name backwards, johanssonmila@gmail.com. It's better to email me. And I can help you wherever you're at. It's a lot of fun. And I just want to say again, it's been a great joy working with Jeannine, and we're going to make her audiobook next, her ebook and her audiobook. I suggest the hardcover too. I call it real estate. Do it all. Why not?
Yeah.
Where you're recording for your audio?
It's on ACX, which is a sister subsidiary of Amazon. And so let's say you have your Prime account and you have your Amazon account. They're the same password.
Right.
ACX is the same password too. So if you want to do your book, you just go on, and I'm teaching a class next weekend on how to do it blow by blow. I'm going to do one of my books and show everybody exactly how to do it. It's on my website, milajohansson.com. And then the great thing is you can find a reader. I have a really good reader for Cinderella monologues. And then you can do your own book. And some people want to read their own book, but you got to have the right mic system. And that's a really tough thing. But there's all these readers already there that you get to audition. And it can be completely free. Isn't that amazing? I know, completely free. I did this book completely free. And I just got this one done. I got these two done recently. My grandmother's book I did 3 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, ACX. That's you can go in and look at it. You can just join with your password that you already have.
Right.
And I'm excited to get this book that she wrote is going to be fantastic. In fact, I gave my reader, I can't do it now because I'm using her again, but I gave my reader to this other book that's very entertaining about a cat. So I've been working on animal books lately. I don't know. It's been fun. A lot of trauma books too, but yeah.
I know. I went on with her and I listened to some readers, and you get to pick male, female, older, young
Yeah.
accents. And I want somebody with, for my Manuel's murals, I want a Hispanic male, young male to read mine.
Hey, my associate, she may have found one for you. I asked her. We're gonna go over that tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. And then for mine, I want somebody that has kind of a melodic, emotional voice for DJs.
Yeah.
And Phil said when he was helping me with this book, as I was reading the manuscript, he's going, okay, Jeannine, I don't really believe that dogs are that magical and they can make a difference, but we'll see. We'll see through your manuscript. Well, what do you think, Phil?
Well, it's been an education. Let's put it that. I do believe you believe it.
Yeah.
Yes. There we
So I sold it in the book, right? I sold it. Yeah. Yeah, I just know personally, this dog, I couldn't have gone through everything I did without her. that was like a personal journey. I just couldn't.
have no argument with that statement. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
It's very entertaining. When I was reading it developmentally, I almost couldn't put it down. And usually when I'm reading people's books, I like them, but not like that much. It's very entertaining. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I told you I was going to have to finish that other book that shall remain nameless. Before I started yours, and then I accidentally opened up yours.
That's right, Sarah, because you weren't there. You were in the first part of my book. You came in on the last part of it.
I know.
And I was the same, Jeannine. I can hardly wait to read what I haven't heard before.
Oh,
I'm
that's
down on the
right.
beginnings.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, and my copy hasn't come yet either, Mila. I ordered it almost as soon as I heard it was up to order, but
Oh,
I thought it
yeah.
was supposed to get here this week, but so far nothing. I'm
Well,
still
for
waiting.
you all to know, when you first do your book, order one through the site, even though you pay a little more, because you'll get 1/3 of that back anyway. But because you'll get it faster usually. But she was ordering author copies at cost, and that's what's taking a long time for her. So I'm sorry to hear yours is not coming, Brenda.
So they had to. Maybe you ran out of print. Wouldn't that be fun?
No, my mom, who's 93, gave me, Mila, this is something you didn't even tell me. My mom said, Jeannine, isn't there a place? And my mom is losing her memory. And she said, isn't there a place you can see how many books are sold on Amazon? And I said, gee, Mom, I hadn't thought of that. And I went and I looked at records, in my account.
Yeah.
And I pulled it up, and sure enough, you can see how many books you've sold. And I just went, oh my God, you can. And so I called her back. I go, you're right, Mom. I found it. She goes, well, I'm thinking if they keep track of books sold and have to pay you, they would have to have record of it.
And you know what else they pay you for when you have an ebook, you guys? Most people don't know this. 1/3 a penny per page. And my one colleague, he has a series of murder mysteries that I can't read because they're very violent. And there has 10 books. And he makes $300 to $500 a month just from the pages read.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's an ebook, did you say?
Yeah, whenever they read the ebook that's online, you get 1/3 a penny
Wow.
per page.
That's amazing. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
One more thing, when her ebook comes out and she asks you, I have everyone ask, I know you bought the big book, but can you buy the ebook or get the free? We're going to do the free. Get the ebook for free, because then it helps her become a #1 bestseller. She will become #1 bestseller with her ebook.
It's good to know.
Yeah, it's really good to know. It's really good. Well, I am just, if there are not any more questions, I think we're kind of ready to wrap it up unless there's more questions. A few minutes left.
Well, I don't have a question for you. I just have a huge congratulations for you.
Oh, thanks, Phil.
Our little group went through this book with you for quite some time.
Oh,
And yet here it is in reality. So
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jeannine.
thank you.
And I feel the same, Jeannine, but may I speak to John?
Yeah.
John, you ask about starting. We all start with those blank pages. And people just tell me to just write whatever you're feeling that moment, or start with whatever you see out the window or see wherever you're looking. And sometimes if you just start, then ideas just kind of come from we don't know where.
Yep.
Or we hear something that jogs a memory. And if you can, join a writing group, because if you find the right group like we have,
Yeah.
we can urge each other on and say, I don't understand what you meant here or whatever. And the first time I read to a group, I was absolutely petrified. In fact, I stopped under the street light on my way home just to see what the comments were. I couldn't even wait till I got home. So it's scary at first, but it just turns into a wonderful way to express ourselves and hear what other people say. I've learned so much from hearing every one of these people read that she told you was in her writing group. And once I found them, I've never let them go. I keep going back and back and back. So just
Very
start.
good.
My advice is just start. Start whatever's in your head and write it down.
Start with,
Thank you.
and then the Post-its grow to longer notes. And then next thing you know, you're keeping your notes in your phone. And then all of a sudden you have a whole sentence. And it blossoms, just like Brenda says.
And I tell people, write your short book first. I do a class, write your short book. 36 pages is the shortest book you can put on Amazon with the spine. This is 70, but write the short book, then put it on, and then use it as the outline for your longer book. Then make your longer book, and then you have more books, which builds algorithms. So don't think they have to be long books, and
That's fine.
you only have to write 20 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day. None of this 2-hour stuff anymore.
Yeah, I just get up and write, and whatever comes out, comes out. And then I go back later and look at my journals. I thought, oh, I could write a little more about that. Or it's sort of stuck in my head overnight, and I might wake up the next morning thinking, oh, I got some more paragraphs. I know how to start that story now. I didn't know when I sat down to write. And I tend to write longhand first and then translate it to computer. And I seldom use a phone, like Sarah just mentioned, phone. I'm an old person. I'm an old person with paper. And I didn't even start writing until I retired. So
Right.
Wow.
Me too.
Yay! And we love you so much, and we're so grateful that you're in our group.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeannine, for letting me talk to one of your people.
Oh gosh, are you kidding? We're all here to learn from each other.
Thank you,
That's why
Brenda.
You're welcome. And Mila, my question about photographs was, I've never published on Amazon, and are they terribly expensive to publish?
No,
I'm not going to
completely
put
free.
photographs in this book. It's just going to be black and white.
Completely free. You don't
Okay.
pay anything, they pay you.
Okay. Even if I did an art book like Denise was talking about, can you do
Doesn't
color
matter,
books?
but any color pictures will make your book cost twice as much, but that's okay for an art book. I've done 2 major cookbooks with people with major art. And look, here's one. This woman, she had her best friend in high school, still her best friend, draw the pictures. And she's a very famous journalist in Philadelphia or somewhere. And so we did this, and there's a lot of pictures.
Oh, that's
of
pretty.
carpet. But any color makes your book cost twice as much.
Oh,
So
I found
it's
that
like
out.
$35.
Oh, they're more than that. They're more than that.
Oh yeah, black and white would only cost $350 or $450.
Color photographs.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
They sell for more than $100. Nobody's going to buy
What?
that.
No. You can put it on Amazon, and you could sell them for $35. That doesn't matter how many color pictures.
Full of color photographs, so I could translate this to Amazon then.
Oh, definitely. If you have a PDF of it, you can just go in today and put it right on, and boom, done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Neela gets things done.
Oh yeah. Listen, we have to get all. I know I move really fast, but I show you how. I say click this, click that, click that. You know?
Okay.
Anyway, I love you all, and thank you so much for coming. And I hope you get the book, DJ's Promise: How My Dying Dog Found My True Love. Love you all. Mwah.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
I'll stay on with you for a minute.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeannine.
Thank you, Denise.
Don't tell anybody about the Mexico cemetery.
Oh, hey, I had to write that one.
There you go.
I already have
Oh,
that.
how do I get out? Oh, here we go. Leave.
It says
Bye.
leave meeting.
I got it. Thanks. Bye.
Bye,
You
Jen.
have
Congratulations.
Thank
You
you.
have my address?
Thanks for coming. What, Denise?
you have my address?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Oh, wait,
Right.
it's Denise. Oh, that's Loopy and Sarah for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll get to you on
If
that.
you want to stay on a visit with her, I can go off, Denise.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Sure?
You have
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to congratulate you, Jeannine, that you did a beautiful job and
Oh, thank
and
you.
everything. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm going to go off so you guys can talk.
And no, wait, Mila. There was a couple things that I didn't do right for Manuel's murals that they keep telling me that I have to fix.
What is it?
It's something about between the two books, between the old one and the new one, that
Oh,
I have to make them equal.
equal.
I can share it with you tomorrow. I'll share you.
Yeah, let's do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
we'll do list. And do you have the ebook from Margaret now?
Yes.
Okay, let's load your ebook because once we load your ebook.
Oh, I don't have the ebook for BJ's.
Oh, could you oh yeah, okay, yeah. Ask her today if she has time to do the ebook for BJ.
Okay. Okay.
I think she's thinking next week, but that's okay too, either way.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
I
let's
thought
talk
that
tomorrow.
I thought that went really well.
Oh, you're such a pro. Hey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You were saying some really good things about me, and I have a VA who could separate those little things out just to be a testimonial on my sites. And I don't know
Sure.
if that's okay with you. And then I'm gonna also guess what I'm gonna have her do. I'm gonna have her separate out your readings so you can use yours on YouTube and your sites.
Oh, cool.
Did I put your readings together or just do them separately, like little tiny 2-minute vignettes?
How about, I don't know. I didn't even get to read the ones I wanted to really read because I had so many, but that's okay.
Okay. Well, you looked really good, and we could just do some readings, and then I just record each one separately, and then we could do that too during our time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, think what you want to do tomorrow, and we'll get together.
I mean, those readings are fine. You could do those. Those are
Let me
fine.
try those. Yeah.
Yeah, those are
Okay.
fun. But I wanted to show you it was about Manuel's murals. It's something, they said you've got to coordinate something between those two books.
Oh boy. Okay, it's because I've never done that kind of thing with anyone that I did with you, and here I am. Let me go to manuals, but they're both up still. So man,
It just was like a little thing. It wasn't anything huge. And I thought I better wait and have her walk me through this. We'll do it tomorrow.
Oh wait, you know what though? Oh, a new off. God, her book is 2957. Jesus, that's terrible. 2957 for that
My
book.
book?
Her book, the book she has of yours. Looks like she put the price up. That is weird. Okay, well, let's talk about it tomorrow. We'll get to the bottom of it, even if we don't call them. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Mila.
You're so welcome.
It really, and you were great. I mean, you just filled in all the holes.
Oh, well, and thanks for letting me talk about what I do, and that was very sweet. And you're a pro. You're really good at this.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
DJ, you're an old DJ.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.